Are we live? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's week 1 in the NFL 2019. The Buffalo Bills are
1-0.
Sorry to wake you.
I was waiting to know our fans.
Yeah, sorry to wake you. Please welcome DJ Duvall, Daryl Duvall, Nick Perkins, Josh Duvall, Slick Willie Jones, and Mountain Man Donnie's here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a full crew tonight.
And a wild animal.
Trying to get in the building right as we speak. We're here in the front living room of the Duvall household, and ladies and gentlemen, there's the headlines today. Cool your jets. The Bills went down to East Rutherford yesterday, and for 3/4 of football looked like a Pop Warner team that forgot how to play football. And then somewhere along the line, because of our illustrious defense, because our defense kept us in the game, the start of the fourth quarter, it was what, 16-3?
16-0.
At the start,
no.
No, it was 16-3.
Before the
Right,
the
16-3 at the start of the fourth quarter, and the Bills won the game 17-16. I didn't watch the game, of course, because if I did, there probably wouldn't be a wall left in the house. I talked to DJ. DJ called me from Cleveland, and I'll let him finish that story in a second. DJ was watching the game in Cleveland at a Bills backer bar, which had to be unique, and called me to say that we were about to pull off the win. And I'm like, how can that be? Because, of course, the people in this house think I don't know what's going on when they all walk around moping because the Bills are playing so pitifully. But I knew exactly what was going on, and they all are, hush, 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 not saying anything, like I'm in another world. But DJ told me they won. I went, watched the game.
That was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake, because I took a lot out of this game. And I'll let DJ talk about the Bills backer bar before I go into what I took out of this game. DJ, go ahead.
Yeah, so I didn't want to just watch in any sports bar. I could have went to any bar and just said, hey.
What were you doing in Cleveland?
Oh, it was my 30th birthday, and my girlfriend surprised me with tickets to see my favorite band, and I'm like, well, it's football Sunday, so you know where I'm gonna be, and
because we know what last year walking around New York City, me trying to keep him from getting hit by cars because DJ just walks out in the middle of traffic in New York City looking at his phone.
We just have.
I'm like,
New York
you're
City
going to get killed.
in the Vikings game, the best game of the season.
Oh yeah.
I'm on top of Rockefeller Plaza. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been here before. It doesn't matter. It's football Sunday.
Oh, it was fun. It was a fun day to be in New York with him. Really.
If all goes well, I'll be in New York in like 4 weeks too.
Yeah, well, I will too.
Yeah,
So
you will.
I
You're
will.
gonna do it
Yeah. I'll be
again.
just coming back into New York on a big ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be there to see a band I've never seen before.
That's good. What is that?
Molly.
Molly, go away!
Could just let her in.
Or kill her. I got my gun on me. But
So
that's
I
beside
found
the
a Bills backer bar. I was expecting, 15, 20 people maybe. It's Cleveland. How many Bills fans are there in one little bar?
There's a lot of Bills fans in Cleveland.
There was, I'm going to have to count on the pictures, but I would say 60 plus. At one point, it was literally, we got there a half an hour early. We got the last 2 stools they had to dig out. And then everybody that showed up after us just lined up 3-4 deep behind.
It wasn't a huge screen you were watching either.
It was two TV screens next to each other. So it's a bar upstairs, and we're in the basement.
But it's a Cleveland bar.
It's a Cleveland bar.
It's a Browns bar.
Upstairs there's about 20 Cleveland Browns fans. And then downstairs...
Cleveland, of course, went on to get their ass handed to them.
Yeah. Downstairs, we're just rocking the freaking place. And then we go upstairs and everybody's moping around and we're like, we feel ya. We know how that feels, but...
Yes, we certainly do.
Day, so Molly's going to just walk back and forth.
Yeah, thanks, Molly. It's good to see you. We're glad you're here. Thanks.
It was a great experience. Every time the Bills score, they play the shout song and we all sing, and it was pretty cool. I got a lot of differing opinions about this game. And as you know, I've been a Bills fan a long time. And this game very much took me back to a Monday night game, and Will might have even been at the game the night we watched that game. I believe the Bills were playing Cincinnati on a Monday night. And Jim Kelly came out and threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter. And everybody, that was at the house and everything else was, oh my God, what's he doing, blah, 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 blah. But our defense, I think they scored like 6 or maybe 9 points off those 3 turnovers.
It was 9, yeah.
And Kelly just kept walking over to the
guys and saying, you know what, don't worry about it. And we went on to basically trounce them. And what Josh Allen did yesterday took me back to that time. Josh Allen proved to me yesterday he's no longer a kid. He's poised. He's not excitable. I thought he played a decent game. He made some errant throws, which every quarterback does. The problem is when you're a young quarterback, they always blame you for those errant throws. You're no good. You're a rookie. Blah blah blah. That's bullshit. Every quarterback in the league, no matter how good you are, makes errant throws.
Even Tom Brady.
Yeah, even Tom Brady. There was 2 interceptions. As far as I'm concerned, they shouldn't have been. They shouldn't be counted as interceptions. I've talked about this before. If a receiver tips a ball in the air, in anywhere, if that receiver doesn't catch the ball, it is no longer the quarterback's fault.
Especially the first one.
It's not the quarterback's fault. If the receiver touches that freaking ball, if you are a receiver and you can't catch that son of a chin ball, knock it down. Don't tip it. Don't throw it in the air. Don't do anything. Keep your friggin' hands off it. But they don't. They always tip it in the air. And then who gets stuck with the interception? The quarterback. And that's bull. I've said it for years. I said it about Jim Kelly. I said it about Doug Flutie. I said it about every quarterback we've had. They get blamed for interceptions that aren't their fault. Why don't the receivers get blamed for that? Why don't the receivers get blamed for a drop pass? For a pass they should have caught. They don't get blamed for that stuff. It's always the quarterback. You know, I watched the Giants yesterday. And the Giants put on a beautiful drive to start the game. And then everybody is calling for Eli's head. Because the Giants went out and signed some punk kid. Well, you know what? Eli's forgotten more than that punk kid knows. So before you throw Eli away, you better think about that. Because they're already, oh, Eli this, Eli that. The Giants' problem isn't Eli. The Giants' problem is a lot of problems. It's not just Eli. And their defense is their biggest problem. They didn't even slow the Cowboys down yesterday. They never, from the time the Giants scored their first touchdown, that was it. They were never in the game the rest of the game. Am I wrong, Will?
No, you're absolutely right.
They were never in this game. And it wasn't Eli's fault. Their defense basically leaked like a sieve. They let Dak Prescott look like he's the second coming of Jesus. He is not the second coming of Jesus. I don't think he's that great a quarterback. Contrary to what my son believes, who he thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's an asshole cowboy. He'll never be anything but an asshole cowboy to me. I don't care if he has 5 Super Bowl rings. I don't care if he leads them on the greatest comebacks in the world. He's always going to be a cowboy, which means he's an asshole. Just like Tom Brady is always going to be an asshole.
I'm with you there.
So,
not that.
they're the same. They're one and the same.
Dak's a black quarterback.
I don't care if he's green. The point of the matter is all this bull gets blamed on quarterbacks, and it's not the quarterback's fault. Josh Allen didn't have a great game. If you look at his numbers, he had a very efficient game yesterday. You take away the 2 interceptions, which weren't his fault, he had a decent game. And it's just like our coach said today. He did what you want your quarterback to do. He played his best football in the fourth quarter. And that's what you want a quarterback to do. Play their best football in the fourth quarter.
Basically, once C.J. Mosley got hurt, it was like a completely different ball game. The minute he left, it was just like the entire game just flipped, and it was like, oh, the Bills are going to win.
Even watching the game, the commentator said you could feel the momentum change.
I'm surprised they said that. I'm surprised they didn't say Le'Veon Bell.
No, nope.
That's all they said all day long.
They said the whole momentum of this game has changed, and it was all in the Bills' favor, and the Bills used it to win the game.
Well, boys, Le'Veon Bell, what's his name? Our rookie running back touched the ball half of what Le'Veon Bell did, and had more yards.
9 times, 90-something, 98
Yeah, 9 touches for 90-some-odd yards.
Yeah,
4 carries for 70 yards.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, and everybody's bitching and moaning about all the Bills look sloppy.
Offensive line looks solid.
It was the first game of the season.
What was the stat? Did you see it come up? Basically, besides Josh Allen, everybody on that offense is new.
Right.
You've got all new receivers, new running backs, all new four new starting offensive linemen. Josh Allen is basically playing with nobody he's ever played with before.
So it's going to take these guys time to mesh. And
And
hey,
won.
we got one win under our belt.
I gave up
Next-
on him early in the game. Snapping DJ, I was like, it's over with. Another letdown.
I was like, no, it's not over.
That took time to mesh. I was like, they had all preseason to mesh.
No,
No.
but see, that's the
Preseason
problem.
doesn't count.
Preseason, half these guys don't play together.
Yeah, we gotta talk about preseason. First time in NFL.
First time in Bills history.
4-0 in the
4-0 in the
preseason.
preseason. And there, we had a game, the last game, we were down wicked, and all of a sudden, came back and won.
Yeah, the kid from Buffalo.
I said it, I put a thing on Facebook, and I've said it a million times. You don't always have to lead if you have the heart to come from behind. And I'll take a sloppy win over a pretty loss. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You can look at, Baltimore beat Miami yesterday, 59-10 or something?
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
Okay,
real bad.
but you know what?
It's 1-0.
It's
Yeah.
1-0, the
It's
same as
1-0.
us. So
Next
we
week
beat
it'll
we
always
beat the
be
Jets
1-0.
by 1 point, 17-16. Baltimore beat the Miami 59-10. It doesn't matter. It all counts the same. It's a win.
The big rumor is that multiple Miami players were asking their agents to look for trades because they already want out of Miami.
It's what's that?
Scores. We should have them in here. I believe.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's
the only
easy.
one that won't be in there is last night's game with
I mean, we don't need
Patriots.
to talk about that.
The Patriots basically blew out the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Steelers didn't even look. I mean, it was. You know me. I don't root for the Steelers. Of course, I root for the Nazis.
Did you
against the
did you
Patriots.
hear what Tomlin
I
said?
actually watched the game. It was pitiful.
It was pitiful.
Tom Brady looked like a surgeon, and Ben Roethlisberger looked like a high school quarterback.
Well, there again, the Steelers had no defense.
And
Oh,
usually,
no,
Brady,
yeah,
usually Brady takes a month to get into the game.
Yeah.
he
Usually
was
sucks.
Well,
pinpoint.
yeah, but see, this season's going to be different.
Oh, he's gonna start in the groove and then go downhill.
Brady's going to fade as the season goes
I actually
on.
cannot wait for our defense to come
Well,
to the
now-
Patriots and just sack him, because that's all it takes to get Tom Brady out
Dude,
of the game.
our defensive line
If we
is
put a hand on him, it'll be
solid.
a penalty of some sort. But now Tom Brady has the best receiver in the game because
You say that. I don't think he's the best receiver in the
It's
game.
not even close.
And
He's
I'll tell you something.
incredible.
Number one, those two are not going to mesh at all.
Brady's already invited him to live in his house.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Those two aren't going to mesh. And number two, there's already talk about the Patriots were meddling where they shouldn't have been meddling. So
Shocker.
yeah, there's a shocker. The Patriots.
Gronk will come out of retirement because they've got all these weapons.
Speaking of
now.
retirement, who came out of retirement and played for?
Jason Witten.
Jason
Yeah,
Witten.
played for
Yeah.
Dallas, yeah.
Took
He was
1
a
year off.
commentator for 1 year.
Oh, thank God we don't have to listen to him on Monday nights anymore.
He was a commentator
Yeah.
for 1 year. He came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get back.
What a moron!
Yeah.
I hope he
Yeah,
gets a
but
career.
they said the same thing about Chad Ochocinco when he wanted to go play for New England. He didn't really do anything.
No, I don't see him fitting well in that.
I never mind.
I think
because
AB,
if
his
I was
mouth
these guys,
is his worst enemy.
If I was one of these guys, you'd have to freaking carry me off the field. I would not ever retire. I'd play till I was dead.
You say that, but when you see these guys that can't speak anymore and can't walk, they start thinking about, we just watched it happen with, yes, who's the little horseshoe guys?
Oh, Andrew Luck.
Yeah, Andrew
Yeah,
Luck
Andrew
just
Luck
retired. Just before the start of the season, Andrew Luck retired. Now, there was a guy that was going to be the second coming of Christ. He never amounted to anything as far as I'm concerned. He never did
He was always
anything.
injured.
He was going to be, he was going to take Peyton's place, and he was going to freaking take them everywhere that Peyton did. Guess
You
what?
see that Peyton still spends a lot of time in Denver. I don't think Peyton feels so welcome in Indianapolis anymore.
No, the
Because
way
their
they treated
owner's
him, he
a
shouldn't.
moron.
No,
Right.
no, he does. He feels more welcome in Denver, and you can't blame him for that.
Doesn't he have franchises in
Denver,
Denver though? I think
doesn't
he's got a
want to live in
franchise chain out there.
Could be.
He's
A
part
lot
of
of
it
Papa
too.
John's.
I think that's
Which
what
we'll
he-
call
Yeah, I
it,
just had Papa John's first time this weekend.
Of course,
Pretty
before the
good.
start of the season, we
Better than-
released LaShawn McCoy, and I personally think that was a mistake, but we'll see. But McCoy was very, humble about it. He took it well. Wrote a nice little piece about Buffalo, which I thought was nice of him, and
Now
You
he's a
know,
Chief.
now he's a Kansas
That
City
was his
Chief,
old coach.
and basically him and
Sammy
Sammy Watkins.
198
Yeah.
yards.
Do we,
Leads like
do we
face
play
off
them
the
this year?
I hope
No,
not.
we
I
don't.
hope not too. That
We
won't be
play
good.
the
Yeah, we do.
NFC.
We'll play him in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think whatever. I think the Bills are definitely going to the playoffs this year, and
So
That's my prediction.
Patrick Mahomes, basically, I'm like, there's no way the kid's going to play that well this year. You know, he's
Second
gonna cool
year,
off his
yeah.
second year, and then no, is it second or third year?
Second.
Third year, right?
I thought it was his third
Oh,
year.
it is third.
And
Okay,
then,
second, third.
and
sorry.
then
Same year as
we're
Trey
watching
White.
the Bills game at the Backer Bar, and the stats are coming up. Sammy Watkins, 61-yard touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 49-yard touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, first half, 300 and some odd yards passing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and he
oh
was
my
throwing
Lord.
he was throwing absolute perfect passes.
Yeah, except for the
They
one
were
to
just-
Kelsey.
Yeah.
He's got
no
a
look.
freaking rocket arm.
Threw it out of bounds.
Oh yeah, I did see that one because he was no look.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
looking over here
yeah.
trying to do his little trick shot
Yeah.
and overthrew him. Oh, do you want to go around the league?
Go ahead,
I feel
go
like
around
we've
the
covered
league.
most of them.
Well, you can do the Thursday night game, which was a snooze fest.
Oh, that was Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Thursday night game. There was a fun game to watch.
The defense.
It's like watching two fat people go at it.
Well,
I
here's,
love defense,
here's
so
my
I-
thing
I
about
was
that
liking
game
it.
is Aaron Rodgers didn't play a snap of preseason.
Correct.
And he said he did not need it. Don't need it. It showed that he needed it.
Yeah.
He's playing the best
I mean, they
football.
won, but I mean, come on, it's still
10-3. They won.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that was a snooze fest.
He had one drive. That's it.
yeah.
Singletary. I can never remember the kid's name.
Devin Singletary.
I bet you by the end of the year I remember his name. He switched numbers too. He was number 40 all preseason.
Are you all
You're
right?
saying, are you having trouble with that paper? You seem to be having a little issue there.
We're
Yanks
You
are
went
playing
right past it,
fourth
right in the
game
middle.
tonight with Boston. We've taken
Ooh,
2
we
out of
picked
3
2 out
so
of 3.
far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice birthday.
Yeah.
Bills win in epic fashion.
Well,
I
yeah,
go
and
see
there
Gator
again, it
Brothers.
doesn't matter to me if the Yanks
And
win or
the
lose
Yankees
against
lost.
Boston.
Well, no, they've already. We basically got the division.
Sorry,
Oh,
Yeah.
here we are. There they are. Oh, New England's game wasn't over yet. So
No.
it's one where the Bills are on top of the AFC.
Yeah, we were on top of the AFC East for 15 minutes.
Chiefs beat Jacksonville 40-26. Biggest thing in this game is the Jaguars' new quarterback got hurt, so he no longer. I don't
Nick
know
Foles.
Nick Foles, how long is he out?
We had
How
late
long?
least
Season.
till week 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said
Oh,
he's still
no
going.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, their season's over.
Yep.
The Ravens beat the Dolphins 59-10. We covered that. We didn't talk about what's his face, their quarterback, who once again I love black quarterbacks, but him I'm like he's just a running back. He's not a quarterback. He put up some numbers yesterday that were absolutely ridiculous. 5 touchdowns.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar,
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. He can't really talk though. That's the
No,
one
they
thing
shouldn't
about
talk to
him.
him.
They should not talk to him.
No,
because
they
he
shouldn't talk to him
cannot-
because
He's not
he
educated.
didn't finish 4th grade.
Yeah, he
No.
literally you can't understand him.
You could tell they kind of pushed him right through high school
Yeah.
because he was a great football player.
Rams beat the Panthers 30-27. Vikings beat the Falcons 28-12. The Falcons suck.
Well, the thing about that game is Kirk Cousins threw the ball 10
What
times.
Yeah.
game ended in a tie?
The Lions.
The
The
Lions,
Lions-
Cardinals.
I was watching that game and the Lions were beating up on the Cardinals.
They're up
Yeah.
18 points in
I
the
thought
fourth
that
quarter.
the refs blew the call against the Saints last year in the playoffs, so we immediately now you can review pass interference calls.
Yeah.
But you can still end in a freaking tie. Like, can we not get that rule changed?
That's pretty stupid.
If
No,
you're
but
not
it's
good
the
enough to win a game at the 5 quarters, you deserve to tie.
So I was in. Yeah, it's not 5 quarters anymore though. It's like a 5-minute quarter, 10-minute quarter.
Yeah.
something like
The
that.
super team you're going to talk about. The Cleveland?
Me? Yeah, I was in Cleveland.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
glad
the
I didn't go
super
around.
team.
The team that's going right to the.
The Browns have not won a Week 1 game since 2004.
Whew. Yeah, well, let's just
And-
say it was a sad city because
Yeah.
they were home and
Yeah, it
they
was a
lost
home
to the
game.
Titans 43-13 to the Titans.
Titans.
They have an
Yeah.
underrated defense.
The
No one
Redskins
talks
were
about
up
that
what?
defense.
Seven.
Redskins were up 17-0.
No,
17-0, yeah.
Oh, and that, see,
That's the old
that kicks
Case
me out
Keenum.
because that's the only game they wanted to talk about last night.
'Cause
Because whatchamacallit, the Seattle, who did the Redskins play?
Eagles.
Eagles came back from a 17-0 deficit to win.
Then you're like, hey, the Bills came
And I'm
back
like,
16
well, the
points.
Bills came back from 16-0
Yeah, but the
to
Bills,
win,
I don't care.
and we didn't even get a mention. No,
Yeah.
it was like an afterthought. But
Chargers beat the Colts in overtime 30-24. Seattle beat the Bengals 21-20.
barely.
Cowboys beat the Giants 35-17. Lions and Cardinals
even that
tied
close.
27-all. We talked about Thursday night. The Packers beat the Bears.
10-3.
the game tonight, there's 2 games tonight.
Yeah.
Saints are losing.
Saints
Saints are losing
Houston.
14-3 at the half to Houston.
Yeah.
And then tonight,
tonight
is
is
The
Oakland
Raiders
and
and the
Denver.
Broncos.
Chucky.
Yeah, that should be.
Did
Like,
you
that
watch
should
Hard
be.
Knocks?
I'm going to
Oh,
predict
great.
that Denver wins by at least 3 touchdowns.
I hope so.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
gonna predict. I'm gonna say Oakland wins 23-20.
Sorry. was just
Will's-
checking the score of the game.
Will's having a little issue with his phone. It went nuts there.
Sorry, I was trying to just score the game.
One thing I gotta bring up. Of course, it's the beginning of the season, and I'm missing my compadre. Tom, wish you were here.
Yep.
Know you are. You pay me a visit pretty often, but I still miss you, buddy. Especially on Monday night.
And
So-
clam bake.
We had a great clam bake
We did have
last
clam
week.
bake.
A lot of food.
700 clams. We went through them in
I
a.
didn't eat a single one.
No, I did.
I usually try one every year. Try
A lot
to
of
force
burgers,
myself.
hot dogs, sausages,
I had a
chicken,
little issue
everything.
with my bowels for 2 days after that, and ended up going to the hospital. And I've got to go for a colonoscopy 2 days before I leave for my cruise, so that should be fun.
Yeah,
That's
I would just move it till after the cruise at
good.
this point.
Good time.
So
Good
stupid.
timing. You know. Well, one thing is,
Worst case scenario, he gets on the cruise and he has a fit.
a fit.
I'm saying you're eating lobster.
Well, it's gonna be lobster, so everything's gonna be sliding.
Like, you know what I
I'll
mean?
have to take it easy.
You taking it easy with lobster?
You're not gonna get lobster every night. But I've lost 53 pounds since last season.
That's why you don't recognize him from.
So, like I say, so I have to be a little more careful on how I eat these days. I can't eat like I used to.
The probiotics do work, though. I'm glad.
The
you tried
probiotics
one
do
of those.
work.
Is that recording?
Is that recording?
Yes.
What are we up to? 20 minutes?
21.
We gotta get out of here. We're going way over.
We got to talk about our Yankees. 93-50 on the season. Leading Tampa.
how many more
by,
games we got?
Leading Tampa by
18, I
8
think.
games.
18.
Leading Boston by 16 and a half.
And they just fired their manager.
Yeah, they just fired their.
Oh, they did?
Dombrowski, whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
what is
head of
The
baseball.
GM.
President of operations.
President of operations. He's gone. Yep. We should hit 100 wins with no
We
problem.
should.
Yeah. Basically,
triple
the
A
only team
finals.
we're tied with the Dodgers, but the Dodgers have 2 more losses than us already. Same amount of wins. The only team with more wins is Houston
Yeah.
with 94.
We're never getting by Houston, just so you know. We will not get by Houston. We don't stand a chance against
They have
Maybe,
starting
you know,
pitching.
the injury bug has absolutely destroyed the Yankees all year, and we've just kept winning. Maybe Houston could catch some of the injury bug.
The problem is with Houston is they've just got phenomenal pitching.
Yes.
And we're not getting by that.
Great pitching beats great hitting.
Exactly.
It's been that
You
way
can
for
have-
years.
You can have all the hitters you want, and it's just not going to help. Like I say, they're going. Why is that moving? That whole thing is moving. That's really strange. Anyway,
Syracuse was ranked.
To start the
Not
season.
anymore, because they got beat 63-20 by an unranked team on Saturday.
they did.
Yeah, but
Maryland-
Maryland
Yeah.
won 72-0 last week, so they knew they were.
63-20.
There you go.
Jeez.
Yeah, so they're big.
The
I didn't
home
see
opener
they
they
got-
look great this week.
Yeah, they got Clemson
They
this
got
weekend.
Clemson.
Oh,
They
that's
Saturday night game.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is that at home?
they're gonna put.
At
Yeah,
home.
it's at the
Home
Dome.
opener.
Oh,
It's
that
the-
sucks.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
an
but
80-point game.
It's college football. You never know what you're gonna get.
You're right. You
I don't even have a touch hole of the week this week. I really don't. I've had.
I mean, you
How about Antonio
Huh?
Brown?
You always have a touch hole.
Well, I could always pick somebody. I mean, you know, my touch hole of the year this year is of course our illustrious governor. And the day that somebody does something nasty to him, I'm going to have a freaking party like you don't even believe. Now, I didn't say anything bad there, and I didn't call for anybody to be, you know, seriously injured or anything or whatever. But you can take that however you want to. But he is a moron, and I can't stand him. And
He sucks.
he is my touch hole of the year.
You mean when we were at the fair, you didn't go see him?
Anyway.
My touch hole would be Antonio Brown, because he just sucks.
Yeah, but he's just that guy's
I was
just
trying
a
to stick
diva.
up for him
It's-
too and be like, oh, he's not that bad.
he's
No,
a
he sucks.
moron, and nobody deserves him more than the Patriots do, really. Hey, guess what came in the mail today? My new Trump 2020 hat.
Nice.
That came in the
I
mail
got one in
today.
DC.
So that should tick some people off. I was going to wear it tonight. I forgot. I had it. It's nice. It's embroidered. It's very nice.
Speaking of new,
So
how's this?
that is
It's going to
cool.
be backwards on there because we did the reverse.
Right,
camera
but
thing.
that's like the Bison. That's like the Abbey Road.
Abbey Road.
The Abbey Road.
Speaking of
This
Abbey
is the 50th anniversary of Abbey Road.
And I was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
and
Saturday.
DJ was in the Rock and Roll Hall of
That was
Fame.
awesome.
What was your favorite thing in the Hall
My
of Fame?
favorite thing in the Hall of Fame was the piano that was in, what was her first
Jane
name?
Asher's.
Jane Asher.
Who
Paul
was
McCartney's,
Paul McCartney's
girlfriend.
girlfriend at the time.
It was in her basement, and Paul and John used to go and hang out in the basement and
Right.
write songs together.
So there's a lot of famous
and
music
I literally walked up to
written-
it and got cold chills.
written
it was
on that
just-
piano. So that was
And
pretty
Johnny
cool.
Cash's tour bus was pretty cool too.
Yeah. So that was cool. I'd like to see that someday, but I can't because I'm going on a cruise. So I'll be in just a few weeks. I'm going to be sitting on a big old ship, 200 feet longer than the Titanic, and hopefully a lot more waterproof. And it's got 42. There'll be 4,260 passengers and 1,400 and some odd crew. That's a lot of crew.
people.
That's a lot of
That's a
people.
lot of people.
It's not a waste.
Did you want to cover tennis? Or are we good?
Well, you know, I do want to cover tennis because last night a 19-year-old girl from Canada beat
I
Serena.
saw that. That sucked.
She
Freaking
was
Canadians.
pretty friggin' excited, and like I say, it was quite a win for her. And what are you pointing at?
The dog.
Canadian.
Canadian.
No, the other dog's in the
Oh,
window.
no, yeah. All you can hear is Chase out there having a fit because he wants to leave because his girlfriend's in here. Anyway,
You hussy.
thanks to everybody for being here.
Bills
Uh,
at the Giants. We play in the same
Bills
stadium
at the
next
Giants. We
week.
play at the same
Prediction.
stadium next week. I don't even know if the Bills are coming home or are they just staying right down there. I don't know.
They're coming home.
So can I play Eastbound and Down for the outro?
What?
Eastbound
Eastbound
and
and
down.
Down for the outro.
Roll 'em up
Yeah,
and truck it.
he's rolling down and trucking.
What's your Super Bowl prediction? It's week 1.
I'm not making one. Thank you. It's week 1.
It's week 1, so
Yeah.
we got to. Philly and Kansas City.
Philly and Kansas City.
Philly
I'll
and
go.
Kansas City.
In Miami.
Is that where the Super Bowl is?
I guess.
Then that's where they're
Miami.
playing.
Yeah, wherever the Super Bowl is, that would be where they'll be playing. Yeah.
The Chiefs
Because
are
Miami got a
somehow
new
going to get
stadium.
past New England in the AFC Championship game.
I tell you, New England's going to fade as the season goes on. New
They got-
England is not the.
They got too much freaking talent.
Nope. They don't have
They
that
don't
much
even need
talent.
talent to win, and they've got it now.
No, and they've lost some very important advisors and coaches. They're going to fade as the season goes on. Mark my words. Their time has come and gone.
Me?
Super Bowl?
You're gonna laugh, but if their defense can definitely get them there, it's
He
their
says the
offense.
Giants, I'm laughing.
No, it's Kansas City and the Bears. Just
I
because
like
of the Bears'
it. I like
defense. But their offense has to click. That's the
I'm
only thing.
rooting for the Bears because they got.
See, I don't know if Mitch took that second step.
We'll see. So,
I want him to take the
you got a
next step.
picnic?
Going
I was on a picnic last year.
Bears, Chiefs.
Bears Chiefs, he says.
Josh?
He's not picking.
You're gonna think I'm lying, but that's what I want to say.
Bears.
But that was before.
Yeah.
That was before Thursday night because
Yeah.
I thought Mitch was gonna take the second step.
Oh, see, now that's my big thing with the Bears.
Mitch didn't take the second
I
step.
think Mitch sucks.
Excuse me.
I'm going to bed.
I
We're on
don't
TV.
care. We're in the middle of the show.
We'll be out 1
Thank
minute.
you. Shut the door now. Bye.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky sucks.
I want him to be good
Yeah,
so
he's
bad.
not good though.
Right.
Everybody
But
wants
they
him,
gotta-
he's no good.
I don't understand why anybody would care about another team. It's fascinating to me.
Oh,
I could care less if Chicago dies. Everybody there. What do I care?
No, I like Chicago now. I've never liked Chicago before, but I like Philly. I've always liked Philly.
You know why I like the Buffalo Bills? I could care
Yeah, but
less.
as a
Any other
lifetime
team in
Bills
the
fan,
world?
the Bills you have to root for other teams because the
29.
Bills never do anything. So we've just gotten used to.
We're going to the playoffs this year,
I agree.
so we could very well
N-
stumble
9
into
and 7 or 10 and
stumble in-
6.
Huh?
9 and 7 or 10
We're
and
going 9 and
6.
7.
10-6 if we get real lucky, but
If we take 1 out of 2 from New England, we'll go 10 and 6.
I don't think that's gonna happen, unfortunately.
And I think we can easily take 1 out of 2 from New England. So I'll go 10.
We're at the 30-minute mark.
Anyway, I'm Daryl Laval.
Chase is in. I am too.
Willie.
You gotta play it.
For Donnie, for Nick, for Josh, for all of us here at the B.B.I.N studios, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week on the Monday Night Report. Good night.
Come on.